Hi everybody, it's Patty here, the Alaskan Cross Stitcher. Today is April the 24th, 2023, and this is episode 222. On today's show, I have a finished object, I have whips, I have haul, and knitting. So sit back and relax, grab your beverage of choice. I'm doing an iced coffee today. Your craft of choice, and let's chat. So how has everybody been since the last time we've chatted? I have been doing okay. I did catch either a cold or an allergy, and that whole week I did nothing but stitch and sit around and be lazy because I just wasn't feeling good. I didn't have the littles that week because I just wasn't up to it, and I didn't want them to catch whatever I had. And I could barely talk. I didn't see my mom that week. I will hopefully be seeing her this week because I think it's been almost 2 weeks since I've seen her because I've just been feeling so bad. But now it's finally calmed down and I don't feel as bad. And I'm not blowing my nose and all that yucky stuff as much. Let's see, anything else really exciting? Truck is working wonderfully, which is fabulous. I've been tooling around in that, having a really good time with it. Yesterday, when the littles were here, they got to see the brand new fish tank. We've had the fish tank since, November. Set it back up in November or early December, and it was really good. It went through a cycle where a lot of the fish died out, and then they came, put new fish in, and they were surviving and thriving. I went on vacation, and when we got back, the water was really bad. So I've been fighting with the water on this tank since February. So last week, I decided to heck with it. I bought them a temporary little plastic tank to put them in, so the fish went in there. I spent an hour emptying that. It's a 25-gallon tank. So I had to empty the tank, took all the rocks out, scrubbed rinsed the rocks until I got clean water. I wiped the insides up really good. Didn't use any chemicals or anything because I didn't want to kill a fish. I bought an underground filter system. So I have that. I have the gravel on top. I have put a new filter in my filter system, and I'm filled all the water back up. We have a heater in there, so it went from, it took 3 to 4 hours, no, maybe longer than that, to raise it from 50 degrees to 75. I like to keep the tank around 75. So I put the fish back in on Saturday night, fed them a little bit when I put them back in there so they wouldn't be too, hopefully, stressed, and woke up Sunday and everybody was still alive. It was like, yay! And so Sunday, before the littles came, I went and got more fish because we didn't have a whole bunch of fish. So I bought more fish to put in the tank. And today when I woke up, all the fish were still alive. So yay! I'm really hoping that it works, because that's the only pet I can have right now, because the Hubs doesn't like pets. He likes fish. We used to have a bird. He can't have birds because he's allergic to birds. Doesn't like cats, doesn't like dogs. And it's not that he doesn't like them. He just doesn't want the responsibility, which I get. I get that he doesn't want the responsibility, and we did have pets when the kids were around, so he's just done with pets, which I get. Me, I'd love to have a dog or a cat. It would be wonderful, but yeah, I get where he's coming from, so I just let it go. I let it go. So yeah, that's about what's been happening around here. So the biggest thing was the fish tank. But shall we get on with the stitching already? I think so. I'm going to start off with my finished object. I am so excited to have this done finally. And this is Give Thanks, charted by DMC, and the art is by Lois Winston. I am stitching this one on 28 count Charles Craft in the, I think it's in Carolina, it's the Carolina linen. Yeah, Carolina linen in the sand colorway. So I get to take it out of the bag here. And here it is. I'm so happy that it's done. Let's see if that helps some. There we go. And this is with the called for floss. And I don't have that floss with me right now, but yeah. So I'm thinking I'm going to take it and get it framed and just have it out for Thanksgiving, of course. So yay, the first finished object of the year. And hopefully I'm thinking about going to find a frame for it this week. So it'll be fully finished, hopefully, by the end of the week. Okay. So I think I'm going to start a little differently. I'm going to show you the Christmas house since it's sitting right here. Oops. Here's the picture. So this is charted by Artisy, art by Steve Crisp. And I'm stitching this on 25 count, easy guide, 1/1 full cross. Oops. And I believe that I have finished 2 pages since you guys seen this last, but I'm not sure. I need to pull off this one needle minder, but I have finished this one and this one over here. So I am working on, this block is almost done. So it's just got this little itty bitty bit and then this page will be done. So that's where I'm at. And if I keep up the pace, it is scheduled to be done August 30th, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure about that. September. I'm sorry, it was September 30th. So that's where this is at. And still enjoying this. And in fact, the week that I was not feeling well, this was the only thing I worked on. So it did get a lot of extra work done last week, the week before last. So, yeah. Because I had put the floor stand away and I just didn't feel like bringing it back out, so I just worked on that. So these are the projects that I have worked on since the last time we spoke. I worked on hands-on designs, If Pumpkins Could Fly. I am stitching this on 32 count Thebes. I think it's Thebes by Seraphim Fabrics. And what's nice is I'm going to have quite a bit of this left when I am done. So I worked on some more of the words. I didn't work on a lot of it, but I got more of the words done. Almost done with all of them, so that's exciting. And I'm almost to the point where I have worked through the rotation again. Even though I took that week off, I'm almost done with that full rotation. And I will talk about that in a minute after I go through here, because I do have a space open. Okay. And then I worked on Sleepy Hollow. Which is by, sorry, I'm still having problems with my voice here. Glendon Place Sleepy Hollow. I am stitching this on 32 count Haunted by Picture This Plus. There it is. No, I'm sorry, it's 28 count. Didn't think 32 count sounded right. Sorry for all the tinkling. And I am decided to work up on the tree. So I've got some more of the tree done. I didn't do a lot of stitching, but so just working on the tree, trying to get that tree blocked in. And then this next time it comes up, I may work on the border. Get some of that, more of that border done, because that border's not fun. So the end of the month, I worked on October 31 by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm sorry. And that's what it's going to look like. And this is on, oh boy, oh, they're there. I moved my glasses out of the way and I couldn't see them. Oops, the coffee was in the way. So this is 32 Count Heritage by Picture This Plus. And I got some more of the, well, I got the black done of the Raven. So he is all stitched in black, and then I'm going to start adding, obviously, the color on the inside. So he just needs to be filled in, and then the pumpkin, which he will be worked on again this month. So that's exciting. Okay, and I have to bend down. Sorry about that, because I dropped my floss. I'll pick that up later. It's just the pattern. My copy of the pattern fell on the floor. I'll pick that up later. So then I worked on Witch's Training Academy, which is being stitched on 32 Count Hunk by Fortnite Fabrics. And I worked on some more of the moon. And I put some bats in there. And I'm almost wanting to do, I am doing it 1/2, but I don't know. I was thinking about going back and doing 2/2 on the bats and just leaving the moon 1/2, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking. But that's exciting. I do like this rotation a lot. And there's, I have 20, I think I have 20 projects, and 19 of them are on the wheel. So that's exciting. So exciting. Okay. Then I pulled out Kringles, and that is by Little House of Needleworks, and I'm stitching this on 30 Count Parisian Gray by Access Commodities, which is the called for fabric. And I got some more of the roof done, so I'm just plugging away on the roof. So I'm almost done this section with this color. And what I think I'm going to do is then I'll fill in, it's that darker color. It's this dark color is what goes in between. So I might finish up that and then this for next time it gets called, which, well, it won't get called. It'll be coming out on the 25th, because that's my 25th stitch. Okay, and then I worked on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, and this one didn't get worked on the Dark 13, so this is just called on the wheel. So I'm stitching this on 40 Count Heritage by Picture This Plus, and I'm just filling in the rocks. I'm still on the train block. So, and I do feel bad it's taking me so long to do this, because I mean, I like it, but sometimes I just don't want to do it. But I know I need to so I can get it done and work on my other big piece that I have from Carriage House. Okay. And Cricket Collection came up in the spin, and this is by the Cross-Eyed Cricket Collection, the Skeleton Crew. So I am working on this ghost sheet right there. And when I was working on that ghost sheet right there, I realized I had made an error on the mast. So I'm going to have to rework the mast, but I believe that the sheet or the sail is in the right place. So I filled in quite a bit from the top of his eyes all down is what I worked on this last time. So that is where this one's at. It looks really cool. I like how this is turning out. There's just a lot of white. A lot of white. But that's okay. I did one full 6-strand piece of this, and then I think I did another couple strands from a different one. So, yeah. It's just taking a while. They all do, though. You know, but it's one stitch closer to being done. That's what I have to keep telling myself. And the last thing I worked on was Just Nan's Spider Moon, and this is being stitched on 32 count round trip by Fortnite Fabrics. Sorry. Brain freeze. So, and I'm on the top band, what I'm working on. And I went ahead and left it in the Q-snap because I Frankenstein this one. So this is an 8 by 11, and it works out so much better than an 8 or 11 by 11 for this pattern. So I filled in the rest of the moon, put the spiders in. So I was really happy with how much I got done on this one this time. So, yay for stitching. So my plans, let's see, I got my book right here. I'm going to just keep spinning. So today the spin was Rose Garden. So Rose Garden is on my Q-snap out there. Oh, yeah. And any plans? Kringles is tomorrow. And then Friday the 28th will be October 31. So those two are already slotted to work on this week. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and go to purchases. Y'all remember I said I wasn't going to buy any more patterns. Yeah. No more patterns, no more nothing. Well, I went ahead and picked up Cinnamon Stars because I really do like Cinnamon Stars a lot. And that's by Plum Street Samplers. Paulette Stewart is the artist, the designer. So this is stitched on a 35 count chamomile tee, 1/1. So I picked up all of the threads for 1/1, not realizing that it needed to be 1/1 until it came. They didn't have any of the Raven, but I actually had 2 skeins. Where's Raven? Okay. So I did have 2 skeins of the Gentle Arts Raven. So I picked out the one that has more green in it because I thought that would look cool. So here's all of the floss, and I went ahead and decided, well, I have 36 count. That will work just fine. So I'm going to use that XJU Designs 36 count linen in the prim. So this is when they're prims. So it's kind of I think it'll work. So, and I don't think any of the colors will get lost on it. So I'm really happy with this choice. I know that I have one more 36 count coming from XJU Designs, so I will see what that looks like. And if that's a better match for this, then that's what I will do. But I'm not going to start this project until I have 2 finishes done. So I have 1 finish done. I moved up Atlantis into the Give Thanks spot. Even though I had Atlantis on when I first started this and then I pulled it off, I have decided that I'm going to look at Atlantis. I'm going to decide where a good breaking point is with Atlantis, and then I'm going to just stop working on it and call it good for that one. I really like the pattern, but I can't get into it. I'm having a hard time every time it comes up that I really don't want to work on it. So I figure if I do that, if I find a good stopping point with another page finish, because it's like 3 pages. So if I do 2 pages, then I'll just call it done and then frame it and it'll be good. I'll be happy with it. Yeah. So that's the plan going forward. I have to have 2 finishes before I can have a new start. So Cinnamon Stars is going to be the next thing I start. I thought about starting that Animals in the Woods. And then I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait until next year to start that one because that's just too big. So, and who knows? This may be the only 2 finishes that I get done this year because I do have so many big projects. And I am starting to get the itch for Mirabilia. And the next one up on the rotation would be, if I had done the 3-month rotation like I talked about, would be Touching the Autumn Sky. And that is one that I would really like to get done really soon. So I'm thinking I might throw her in every once in a while. It's not going to be weekly like before. It'll be when if something on the wheel spins and I really don't want to work on that, I'll still pull it as if I worked on it. And I will put in Autumn Sky, Touching the Autumn Sky instead. Because I really would like to get that done this year. But it's not going to if it's just sitting over there and not getting touched. So those are the bigger plans and the little plans. So the next thing on the agenda is knitting. I went ahead and even though I don't wear a lot of my hand knitted socks, I decided to start another pair of hand knitted socks. These are from Unique Socks. They are hand-dyed self-striping matching socks. So if you start it in the correct spot, both socks should look the same. I do not make long socks like that. I only make anklets, and that's the only size I wear is anklets. So I have stopped making long socks. So here they are. I started these so that I could go to knitting, and I did go to knitting on Friday, and that was a lot of fun. So here we are. So, and I've been working on them here. So I do toe up 2 at a time. I usually don't do 2 at a time. I usually do 1 on 1. But since these are matching, I figured what the heck, I would do it. I'm going to do an afterthought heel. So that means when I think I'm at the point, I'll keep measuring until I think I'm at the point where the heel would go. It's not a true afterthought. Let me back this up. I am not doing a true afterthought heel. I am just doing a afterthought heel. A true afterthought heel is you knit the tube and then you snip it in the middle. So you would snip the middle and unravel it and pick up the stitches so you can knit your afterthought heel. The afterthought heel that I'm going to do is you knit until you're at the point where you think you need to be. Then you take a piece of very contrasting yarn and you knit on the back. Like so, say this is the back of the sock, so you would knit just one strand of deeply contrasting yarn. And then you finish knitting. Then you'd go back, you'd put the needle back through and then pick up the yarn that you left, and you would just knit on top of that contrasting yarn and continue to knit. And then after you're done, you carefully rip that out and put your needles back on and then knit the heel. I have done that a couple of times. I have a pattern called the crystal heel, which is that. And then I know that the Knit Girls with 2 or 3 L's has an afterthought heel tutorial as well on YouTube. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I know it used to be there. It probably still is. So if you're interested, that's how you do afterthought heels. The Fish Lips Kiss heels, for some reason, I'm not doing them the same on both socks. I have 2 pairs of socks that the heel isn't right. One is right, one is not. And in fact, one pair of socks that I have on the needles besides this pair is that. And I have ripped that sock out so many times that I'm tempted to just take it off the needle and throw them away, because they are driving me absolutely up the wall, and I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done with it. So I will be knitting on my socks until they're done. And then I also started a shawl, but it's across the room, and that took me 5 times to start, and I was not happy. Not even a little bit. But I'm hoping to get that one going, because that's definitely not something to take knitting. The socks are. So I like to have a good sock or a hat or washcloths when I go out knitting, and shawls and things like that stay here. So looking around, I really don't have anything else to talk to you guys about. I hope I have not talked your ears off too much. And it is almost 30 minutes, which is really unusual for me. So I'm hoping to be back next week. I am back into the groove of this, and I should be back. So I hope that if you're a new viewer, that you have liked something and you have decided to subscribe and stay. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for having patience with me. Thank you for coming back week after week. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and happy. And whatever you craft, I hope you craft it to your heart's content. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.